The NFL preseason is over for the New York Giants, which means Sunday night football against the Dallas Cowboys is just a couple of days away. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. In today's video, we're going to recap what happened in preseason week 3, the Battle of MetLife Stadium, which isn't really the battle because the real battle happens this season and the regular season. But the Giants did lose to the New York Jets 32-20. My main takeaways were the Jets played their starters, the Giants did not. We'll talk about Tommy DeVito. I'll give you my biggest winners and losers from this game, guys that are on the roster bubble. But I want to point out what Isaiah Simmons did first in this game. He didn't play all that much, but he did get the start for the Giants after he was traded by the Giants, gave up that 7th-round pick to the Arizona Cardinals. It was a 3rd down, I believe, and Wink Martindale just had Isaiah Simmons pin his ears back and get after Aaron Rodgers on one play. He made first, he just absolutely bull rushed a running back in pass protection, got right by him. You saw the speed, you saw the first step, you saw the closing ability, the sheer strength and size that Simmons possesses, and that's where I want to see him be using this defense, is as a pass rusher off the edge. He didn't come away with the sack, but he had a quarterback hit, I would call it, then forced Rodgers to move out of the pocket, and he threw it away on 3rd down. Really excited to see the way Isaiah Simmons continues to be using this defense as he gets more comfortable with Wink Martindale. He was asked after the game, how does he feel about playing linebacker for the Giants? There was rumors that he didn't want to play that anymore with the Cardinals. He said, I'm fine with playing linebacker here because Wink Martindale uses linebackers in different ways than almost every defensive coordinator in the NFL. Coming up in a second, I'm going to give you my winners and losers on the roster bubble from this game. But first, make sure all of you are hitting that thumbs up icon because I know you're ready for the regular season. I am too. I'm ready for week 1. I'm ready to go 1-0 versus the Dallas Cowboys. So hit that thumbs up icon right now. There was some injury news that I think is necessary to discuss. A little bit of housekeeping for us here at Giants Now. Bobby McCain left the game with an injury, had a concussion that was suffered on an illegal crackback block, dirty play. Unfortunate for Bobby McCain. Zion Gilbert's dealing with a hamstring. We saw Bryce Ford Wheaton make one nice play as a gunner on punt coverage, but he ended up leaving the game early with a knee, and we didn't get to see him do much at the wide receiver position. Chris Myrick is dealing with a hand injury. Wyatt Davis left on the stretcher, on the cart with an air cast on his leg. They're saying it's an ankle injury. G-Mon Green with a shoulder, and then Javarius Owens also with a hamstring. Those were the main injuries that came, really all the injuries that came from this ballgame. The biggest winner, though, that I have for the Giants is inside linebacker Carter Coughlin. He was the guy that's on the roster bubble for me, and I thought his performance tonight probably put him in a good spot to make this football team. Obviously, you don't make the team from one performance in the preseason, but he played like his life in the National Football League was on the line, and it was because he's on that roster bubble. I loved how he played, like his hair was on fire, playing sideline to sideline, getting downhill, making plays in the backfield. I was extremely impressed how Micah McFadden looked in this ballgame. When you talk about the Giants' inside linebackers, you know Bobby Okereke is going to make it. You know Micah McFadden is going to make it. I bet they keep 2 more guys. And after tonight's game, I think Carter Coughlin is going to be in. Darian Beavers, didn't see much of him. I expect him to make this team. I think it's going to come down to, though, Cam Brown and Carter Coughlin. Both are special team specialists. But what you saw from Coughlin was he's able to be a productive player outside of just being a special teams guy. We saw him on defense make some splash plays. Carter Coughlin is a big winner for me. A big loser for me also is Matt Peart. I think he gave up 3 sacks, had a holding, had a false start. I'm officially worried about the Giants' swing tackle position. I know there's not a lot of teams in the NFL, if any teams, that have a good swing tackle, because if that swing tackle was good, he would be starting somewhere else. But I'm worried about Matt Peart being 1 snap away from being our starting left tackle on this football team. Corey Cunningham didn't look much better. Julien Davenport, we'll talk about him, I think, in a little bit. He didn't look too good. Hopefully Phillips, who's been dealing with a quad injury and missed the past couple of weeks of practice, was back this week. Didn't play, so I wonder if got a precautionary measure there by Brian Dable and the sports science team, but I'm excited to see if he could be that guy because I thought he actually looked good for the Giants in the limited action he saw with the Evan Neal injuries. The second biggest winner, and this is usually a bad thing when it is your kicker, but Graham Gano showed tonight once again that he is one of the best kickers in the National Football League. I think he made a 57-yarder, he made a 56-yarder, and I think he made another field goal as well. I think he was 3 for 3, might have been 2 for 2, but for sure 2 kicks of over 55 yards. Gano is going to continue to be a big part of this football team. You get him in range, he's going to knock it in. He's automatic. Gano is one of the best players in the NFL at that kicker position, and I'm glad that he is a part of this franchise. Name a player, though, that you want to make the roster. There's a lot of guys on this roster bubble. Ja'Shawn Corbin finds himself there. Bryce Ford-Wheaton finds himself there. Jervarius Owens. There's a lot of players that are on the bubble. Give me a guy that you want to see make this team. Another loser is another offensive tackle, and this is Julien Davenport, who was recently signed by the New York Giants a couple of days ago, and honestly, he did not look good. Got beat for a couple of plays, but he just looked like he wasn't good enough to play in this league anymore. It usually happens when you sit out for quite maybe a couple of games or a year. You're a backup and you lose the starting reps, and you don't become as in a groove is the key I'm looking for. And I just think Davenport isn't good enough to be an NFL player at this point. He did not look good, and I'm not sure he's going to make this team. I'm actually pretty confident that he will not. We got 2 more players to discuss, but it's one more. Maybe I'll give you a little bonus guy. But get hooked up with our proud sportsbook partner, BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code chat125. When you go to chatsports.com/bet and use the promo code BetUS, is going to hook you up with a 125% deposit bonus, and you can bet on the NFC East. My prediction, one of these 4 teams is going to win the NFC East. Don't necessarily think it's going to be the Giants. I think they can. Not sure if they will, but good value here at plus 750. Place your bets, though. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code chat125. The best dang sportsbook partner in the world. Maybe since this is the last time I get to talk about Tommy DeVito, I'm going to call him a winner. I just love the guts that this guy has. I love the way he plays this position. He is fearless. He's a gamer. I know he threw a pick 6, and it was a bad play. It's an RPO. You can't pump fake. You can't go to your second read. You either give or you make the throw. And he made the cardinal sin of pump faking an RPO and went to his second read, left the ball inside for David Sills, and it went for a pick 6 the other way. I thought David Sills tapped him down, but that's really irrelevant at this point. But I do think that DeVito can be a backup quarterback in this league. He kind of has that Taylor Heineke swag to him, if you will. Never scared. No quit. He has the ability to move out of the pocket a little bit. I was thoroughly impressed by what I saw from DeVito in all 3 preseason games. Coming into the preseason, I thought he was just going to be another UDFA quarterback that wasn't going to make this team. And I don't think DeVito will be a part of the 53, but I do think he'll be a priority practice squad player. And I like the fact that we have a young stash QB that can continue to learn and develop under Daniel Jones, Brian Dable, and Mike Kafka. We gave you 2 losers in today's game. I'll ask you, who is the biggest loser from tonight's game? Maybe a guy that saw an opportunity slip through his hands, and now will find himself on the outside looking in when it comes to this 53-man roster. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Tomorrow, I'm going to put out my 53-man roster final predictions, and if the Giants make a move, if they cut anybody, we are going to be putting out a video as soon as possible. Subscribe, turn the notifications on, and let's go Big Blue.